Oh, the agony. The sheer, unadulterated frustration that must be boiling over in Calgary right now. How much longer can a proud franchise, steeped in a history of grit and fire, endure this kind of struggle before making a bold, decisive move to reignite the flame? Friends, fellow hockey fanatics, we are witnessing a season start in Calgary that can only be described as a descent into a chilling abyss. The once fiery Flames, a team that clawed its way to the precipice of the playoffs just last season, now find themselves languishing at the very bottom of the NHL standings. A paltry 4 wins, 9 losses, and 2 overtime defeats. A meager 8 points. Paint a grim picture of a team adrift, desperately searching for a lifeline. This isn't just a slow start. It's a full-blown crisis, an offensive drought so severe it threatens to extinguish any hope before the winter truly sets in. But amidst this gloom, a whisper has begun to circulate, a tantalizing rumor from the bustling hockey markets of the East, suggesting a potential spark that could ignite the Flames' dormant offense. Could a young, skilled forward, currently navigating the crowded landscape of the Toronto Maple Leafs, be the answer to Calgary's prayers? We're talking about Nick Robertson, a player whose name has been swirling in the trade winds, and whose potential could be precisely what the Flames need to pull themselves out of this early season nightmare. The Calgary Flames are not just struggling, they are in a state of profound disarray, particularly when it comes to putting the puck in the net. With a measly 36 goals scored this season, they are firmly entrenched in the league's basement for offensive production. This isn't a new problem. Mind you, last year, they finished 29th in scoring, a statistic that should have been a blaring siren, a clear warning sign that their offensive engine was sputtering. Yet, here we are, facing the same grim reality, only amplified by a disastrous start to the 2025-26 campaign. The frustration, as NHL insider Pierre LeBrun recently reported on TSN Insider Trading, is palpable within the organization. There's a lot of frustration with the Flames organization about their lack of scoring, LeBrun stated, underscoring the urgency of the situation. Frankly, it's not a new problem. They were 29th in scoring a year ago, so it's a problem that continues. General Manager Craig Conroy, to his credit, is not sitting idly by watching his team crumble. He's on the phones, tirelessly working the trade market, exploring every conceivable option to inject some much-needed offensive firepower into his roster. GM Craig Conroy isn't sitting on his hands. He is making calls and exploring the trade market, trying to find out what exactly is available out there that can potentially help his team offensively, LeBrun confirmed. It's a challenging task, especially so early in the season when most teams are reluctant to part with assets. But for the Flames, the need is immediate, the desperation undeniable. They need a player who can not only score, but also bring a jolt of youthful energy and skill to a lineup that currently feels stagnant. This brings us to the intriguing figure of Nick Robertson. At just 24 years old, Robertson represents precisely the kind of young, skilled forward the Flames should be targeting. He's a player with a proven ability to find the back of the net, having set a career high with 15 goals in 69 games last season. That's not a superstar number, no, but it's a solid contribution from a player who often finds himself battling for consistent ice time on a deep Toronto roster. What's more, Robertson has been on a tear recently, showcasing his offensive instincts with 2 goals and 5 points in his last 4 games. This isn't just potential, it's potential actively being realized, a player finding his rhythm and demonstrating that he can be a difference maker when given the opportunity. Imagine that kind of offensive spark, that recent hot streak, being transplanted into a Flames lineup starved for goals. Robertson possesses the kind of quick release and offensive creativity that could immediately elevate Calgary's middle six forward group. He's not a physical behemoth, but his speed, skill, and nose for the net are exactly what the Flames are lacking. He represents a low-cost, high-upside gamble, a player who, with a change of scenery and a more prominent role, could truly blossom into a consistent scoring threat. For a team that desperately needs to inject youth and skill into its forward core, Robertson ticks all the right boxes. The proposed trade, as outlined by Heavy Sports, is surprisingly straightforward and, from Calgary's perspective, incredibly appealing. The Flames acquire Nick Robertson, and in return, the Maple Leafs receive a 2027 third-round pick. On the surface, this feels like a steal for Calgary. A third-round pick, while valuable, is a relatively low price to pay for a 24-year-old forward with Robertson's scoring pedigree and untapped potential. For the Maple Leafs, it's a move that clears a roster spot and potentially some cap flexibility, while recouping a draft asset for a player who, despite his talent, has struggled to solidify a consistent top-6 role in Toronto's star-studded lineup. This isn't a random shot in the dark. Robertson's name has been a fixture in the NHL rumor mill for quite some time, and the whispers are only growing louder. NHL insider Elliotte Friedman, in his recent 32 Thoughts column, reported that the Maple Leafs are actively investigating options for Robertson. This isn't a new development. Friedman also revealed that Toronto had pitched a move for Yegor Chinnikov to the Columbus Blue Jackets over the summer, indicating a long-standing willingness to explore a trade involving Robertson. This history suggests that Toronto, while valuing Robertson's skill, might see him as a valuable trade chip to address other needs or simply to optimize their roster. For the Flames, this long-standing availability makes Robertson an even more attractive target. He's not a player being shopped out of desperation, but rather a skilled asset who might simply be a better fit in a different environment. In Toronto, with a plethora of high-end forwards, Robertson has often found himself on the fringes, battling for ice time and struggling to establish consistency. A move to Calgary, where he would likely be given a more significant role and more opportunities, could be the catalyst he needs to unlock his full potential. It's the classic change of scenery narrative, but one that, in Robertson's case, feels particularly apt. So, how would Nick Robertson integrate into the Flames' struggling lineup? Picture him slotting into the middle six, perhaps on the second or third line, bringing an immediate offensive threat that has been sorely missing. His ability to generate shots and create scoring chances would be a welcome addition to a team that often struggles to sustain offensive pressure. He could provide a much-needed boost to the power play, an area where the Flames have also faltered. More than just his individual statistics, Robertson's presence could have a ripple effect, forcing opponents to respect another scoring threat and potentially opening up space for other Flames forwards. This isn't about finding a singular savior. It's about adding a crucial piece to the puzzle, a player who can contribute immediately while also offering significant long-term upside. For a team that is clearly in need of a retool, if not a full-blown rebuild, acquiring a young, skilled player like Robertson for a relatively modest price is a smart, forward-thinking move. It addresses an immediate need for offense, injects youth and skill into the lineup, and provides a potential building block for the future. The stakes are incredibly high for the Calgary Flames, and a move like this could be the spark that ignites their season and perhaps their future. The Calgary Flames are at a critical juncture. Their season is teetering on the brink, and the calls for change are growing louder with each passing loss. The acquisition of Nick Robertson, a skilled and hungry young forward, represents a calculated risk with the potential for immense reward. It's a move that could inject life into a stagnant offense, provide a much-needed jolt of energy, and offer a glimmer of hope to a fan base yearning for something to cheer about. This isn't just a trade. It's a statement, a declaration that the Flames are not content to languish at the bottom, but are actively seeking to reignite their competitive fire. The question isn't if they need to make a move, but rather, can they seize this opportunity to bring a dynamic talent like Robertson into the fold and turn their season around? What do you think, hockey fans? Is Nick Robertson the missing piece the Calgary Flames desperately need to spark their offense and climb out of the NHL basement? Or is a third-round pick too steep a price for a player still looking to fully establish himself? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your take on this potential game changer. And if you found this analysis insightful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more exclusive reports.